Hola, happy Thursday. I'm excited. The new moon is in 2 days, and I am looking forward to tonight's Sip, Steam, and Manifest. Yes, God. I've already been compiling some images of the things that I am looking to manifest in the next 30 days. I'm excited about it. One of the things that I learned about manifestation that was like really, really crucial and impactful was giving things timelines and deadlines. So saying, I want this to happen by this time. So I'm going to be working in 30-day cycles and looking at the things that I want to manifest in the next 30 days. Not someday, not soon, not, you know what I mean? Yes, God. Good morning. Happy Thursday, y'all. So yes, God, I encourage everyone today, okay, utilize the energy of the moon. The new moon is a great energy for really planting seeds about what you want to come to fruition for yourself. And it does say in the Bible, write the vision and make it plain. So what I like to do is I write a list first. I'm a list person. So I always write a list of the things that I want to manifest. And for the new moon, what I'm going to start doing on the new moons is actually creating a mood board or a dream board where I actually have a visual of what's on my list. Hey, Janine. Yes, God. And yes, God. So I'm excited about that. So I posted about the play area. So I'm really feeling motivated and inspired to have a really comfortable, organized, because I like to be very organized, play area in our loft. So I wanted to have like an area for the children. I wanted to have a lounge area where you can just kind of be on the couch. I wanted to have a specific area for the baby. So, and then a place for the children to do homeschool. So instead of, me like doing work and trying to, of course, I mean, we have to take action. Faith without works is dead, but I want it to come easily to me. I want to be clear about, how it's going to be organized. So I'm looking at different visuals of it, right? I'm giving my awareness to the thing that I want instead of being like, oh, I wish that loft was put together. Oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. And instead of having the energy and the attitude of I gotta, it's like I get to. Thank you, God, for already creating this amazing area. Please reveal it to me. Yes, God. So just really powerful in doing that. And then also powerful in saying in the next 30 days, I want to have this loft. I want to experience this. And so I'm looking forward to it. Tonight, if anyone would like to come and join us, I highly encourage you to do that. It's amazing when you start to come together with a group of like-minded people and you actually give it a deadline when you circle back around in that 30 days and see how things started to move in that direction, if not manifest 100%. Yes, God. So, what else, y'all? I'm so proud of myself. I'm still nursing. I'm getting ready to pump. Like, let's be real. Let's show what's really going on. Like, I have my double my double nursing bra, and I'm getting ready to Haka and manual pump it. I have tried electric pumps. I have a Willow. Like, I've gone like all out, and honestly, I just feel like this is just so simple. Manual. It's not like you get any more milk with electric pumps. Just my own preference. Anyways, that may be too TMI, but I wanted to just share that.
Our environment. It's not a completely separate, unrelated thing, you guys.
Yes,
it's
God.
a reflect.
So I found this in other unrelated news. Well, related news. I found this guy on YouTube called Joshua Tongol. Tongol, and he talks a lot about manifestation, and he studies Neville Goddard's work, which I am huge into, and his content is amazing. So I highly suggest you go check it out. Like both pumping. Yeah, I mean, there's a time where electric pumping is great. I just feel like when I think about the overall, like my comfort and like, the pain, like, electric pumping can be a little bit rough on the nips. And that's just my experience. But I'm so grateful that I'm still able to breastfeed, and I'm so grateful that that my baby's healthy, and that I'm getting ready to do a podcast where I'm going to be sharing my birth story, and I'm also going to write about my birth story. And I just want to really kind of spread the message that no birth story is better than another. Like a natural birth is not better than a C-section or an assisted or an epidural birth. Yes, God. The YouTube name is Joshua Tongle. Here, I'll show you guys and gals and folks here. Joshua Tongle. He's really good. Like really good. Yeah, so he's all into like mind science and all the things that I love. These are a few of my favorite things. But yes, God. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the course, the masterclass that we're going to be doing at the end of this month. I used to spank my kids, and that is giving tools for a more positive, intentional, purposeful parenting. A lot of times it can be it can be easy for us to just kind of discipline the way that maybe we were disciplined or the way that we're taught is normal to discipline, which is spanking and yelling and kind of being really firm with children. And I've learned in my journey that there's a lot better ways. We don't want to cause trauma that our children have to heal from. So check that out. All that's in my bio. Be sure to download the Yes God Wellness app. There's affirmations every day. Divine order is now established in our minds, bodies, and affairs. That has been one of my favorite affirmations that I've just been repeating all day, every day. Also, I'm learning about Isn't It Wonderful? Isn't It Wonderful is another amazing kind of prompt that you can, look at your day with. Isn't it wonderful that I woke up in this warm bed? Isn't it wonderful that I have a telephone that I can get on and have resources and access to the content that I choose? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that I have some water right here that I can just open up and drink at, I don't have to go to like a well and go get water out? Yes, God. I listen to that one while I sleep. That It's Wonderful. It's so good, Katie. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I've been, it's just amazing. It's just amazing how when you give your attention and your awareness to things, you start to experience and see things. It's a simple concept, but it's not always easy because we're so kind of programmed to focus on what we don't want. Joshua Tongle. Tongol. Yep. Here, let me put it in here. Joshua Tongle. Okay. Yeah, he's really good. So he's kind of like he's actually doing something like I actually really like his concept of just kind of like breaking down these metaphysical concepts into quote unquote layman terms. That's what he does. So he studies like Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn, Joseph Murray, excuse me. I think his name's Joseph Murray. Murray. Napoleon Hill, all of that kind of just, how did I get into manifestation? That is a great question. Thank you for asking that because, so first I want to respond to that. I want to say that we're all into manifestation. Whether we realize that we're manifesting or not is a different story. So I think what you're asking me is how did I realize that I was manifesting and that I had way more control in my manifesting than I was aware of before. I can honestly say that when I began steaming back in 2014, when my daughter was born, actually, that was pivotal for me. But even before that, actually, I would say around when my son was born. Okay, so I'm gonna try. This is like such a loaded question. I realized I was in control of manifesting when I saw a continual pattern of similar negative experiences in my life. So what that did for me was it showed me like, this is not a coincidence. There's something going on here that is creating this similar dynamic. Like, what is that? So that honestly, that's what piqued my interest in it, was recognizing the fact that I continue to experience the same bad experiences over and over and over and over and over again, with different dynamics, maybe different people, different jobs, different friendships, different relationships, but just being aware of like, wow, that's really similar to what happened that time and that time and that time and that time and that time. Okay, so what is happening that is continuing to be like, there's something consistent here. What is that? And in digging deeper into what was consistent and why it was consistent, and I'm so grateful for the internet and YouTube and just having resources and technology to be able to kind of find out, like, what is that? And when I started to, I think one of the first kind of materials that I came across was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And the concepts that Napoleon Hill talks about in that book are really tied into the mind. Okay, obviously, like thinking, and the fact that all of us think, we all think, but most of us don't know how to think. There's a way how to think. Like, we're not just conformed to how we're thinking in this moment. There's a way and a strategy that we can approach thinking that will create things for us. And honestly, I realized I was manifesting once I realized that I was continuing to create the same negative experiences from myself. And it took honesty. Honestly, that's like the main thing. It takes being honest with yourself, and it takes accountability, and it takes observation to say, you know what? Maybe there's something that I'm doing that has something to do with what's happening to me. Maybe it's not everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'm not just the victim to all of these like almost identical experiences. Maybe there's something in me that is helping to magnetize these identical experiences to me. And once I was able to kind of let my ego go and say, damn, I'm not perfect. I'm not like right all the time. Like, it's not everybody else. Wait, like I did something wrong? Once I was able to have the humility and the vulnerability to say that and feel that and admit that, it just opened up everything else, because it's like, and this is honestly for me, like, that's what healing is. Healing yourself, whether it's a physical, whether you're trying to heal your womb, whether you have a disease in your body, whether you have situations in your life that you're not happy with, whether you look in the mirror and you're not happy, it all starts with healing. And healing is the courage to look at the parts inside of you that are broken. And there's nothing wrong with being broken. Everyone has broken in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Everyone has brokenness inside of them that they have offered to other people, and they've broken other people because of their brokenness. When you have the courage to go inside of yourself and say, let me be honest about what's broken inside of me so that I can fix it. Because if I'm not honest with myself, I can never fix it. And that was, I think that's the point of, my work, honestly, is just really kind of helping. I want to facilitate and help people find a safe space for that brokenness, and to understand that your brokenness is not your identity. You don't have to continue to be broken. You can fix your brokenness. And 99.99% your brokenness starts here. It starts about how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you feel about things that have happened to you, what definitions you give those things, what meanings you give things. You know, what is your self-image? You know, what do you truly deep down feel about yourself? I'm not talking about how you feel about yourself on Instagram and this image that you portray of, oh, I'm this amazing mom of yes, God wellness, and I'm manifesting all these amazing things, and I'm married, and I'm this, that. Like, not all that, like the actual inside stuff that's like fucked up. Like, hey, I used to beat my kids. I used to, be addicted to this. I used to, you know what I mean? Like, actually getting into the real parts of yourself that you don't feel comfortable sharing with the world because you're ashamed or you feel guilt or you're embarrassed about them. And understanding and having that compassion and that love with yourself to say, I did the best that I knew how to do at the time, and I'm not that person anymore. And so I'm not going to be held to that guilt and that shame because I have done something about that. And being willing to do that work is so transformational, And so in that work, initially it started as, okay, wow, manifesting is real, because I manifested some crazy stuff. Like, I don't like what I've manifested. And then saying, well, can I manifest something different? Like, okay, so if I manifested that, then I can manifest something else. So if I can manifest something else, what would that be? And then you actually like start to shift your perspective and your focus, and you're giving your attention now, instead of continuing to guilt yourself and beat yourself up and just be in this perpetual cycle of low self-worth. You can start to give your attention and your awareness to the person who you desire to be. Okay, I want to be this type of person. I want to be someone who positively impacts everyone I meet. I want to be someone who people feel safe with. I want to be someone who, and so you start to define those things for yourself, and you realize that you can manifest it. Another huge part of this, and being honest and looking inside of yourself and being like, that's broken, I need to fix it, is saying, you know what? I have been really ungrateful. I've been focused on all of these negative things, and I haven't really taken the time to honor God and say, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for having a roof over my head, having transportation, having income, having abundance. I am surrounded by abundance. Even in my lowest time, I'm surrounded in abundance. Thank you, God. Thank you. And just like completely surrendering, completely opening your heart up, allowing yourself to just feel and release and be honest and cry. Yes, God. Yes, I have manifested so much negative stuff without even knowing until I thought about it. Exactly. And so the thing is, when you get to that point, that's why I think breakdown. So my kind of like my niche, I feel like, is helping women go from breakdown to breakthrough, because I feel like the breakdown point is such a powerful, necessary point in a healing journey. You have to be completely broken and at your rock bottom. If you don't get to that point, you are not going to appreciate and really have an understanding of what healing looks like. You're not going to be able to understand that, I've experienced this level of brokenness. You really, I feel like you can't have the hunger for the level of like fulfillment unless you really can like admit to yourself, like, this is screwed, man. All this stuff is really screwed. Like, I need something different. Like, I call it the anything but this moment. Like, where you're at a point in your life and you're like, God, anything but this, please. Like, I'll do anything But this right here, I don't want to do it anymore. Please, God, please, please, please. No, 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 God, no, God. And that's too, like, as far as like the name of my business, like coming to that breakdown point and understanding like anything but this, no, God, to just being able to turn and be like, yes, God. Yes, God, thank you for my surroundings. Yes, God, thank you for that experience. It helped me to define what I do want. It helped me to define what I do desire. Yes, God, like honestly acknowledging God in everything and having gratitude for everything. And really being mindful and observing yourself every single moment of the day. Like when I get on the phone with my best friend from New York and we start chatting it up, are we talking shit about people? That's not cool. You know what I mean? Like actually like being aware of yourself in every moment and really having integrity about aligning with the person that you've decided that you want to identify as. If you want to be a healer and a global impactor and a wellness connoisseur and all these amazing things, you have to do that in the light and the dark. And the only one who can hold you accountable for it when no one's watching is you. And that's a responsibility that is, it's something you have to decide if you're, where you are with that. So that, to answer that question, that's how I found out about manifesting, was that I felt like shambles inside, and blaming other people wasn't working. Blaming other people wasn't working anymore. And I was like, something's got to fucking change. That's it. Something has to change now. God, anything but this. And there's something about that surrender, that God is like, because you let go, it's like a release. And this is another metaphysical concept. So when you hold on to something really tight, like a belief, or like, oh, it has to be this way, or this means that, or like you're holding on real tight to one extreme or a very strong opinion about something, that's actually creating resistance to it. So the sweet spot for manifestation is the vibration of neutrality, which is where you're good with it or you're good without it. And you expect it though, like you expect, it's, and the reason why you're good with it or good without it is because you know that it's coming. It's already happened. You're just waiting for it to unfold in your physical reality. So, when you are in a space of, because a lot of, when we hold on to like strong beliefs or concepts about things, it usually comes from a place of fear. If you really kind of examine yourself and examine your motive for how your mind is presenting something to you, it's usually a place of fear. But anyways, thank you for asking that question. I am getting ready to go pump now. Again, I would love for y'all to join me this evening. We're going to be sipping, steaming, and manifesting. If you can't steam, that's fine. You will still benefit from sitting with us and meditating, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to create our virtual vision boards, or you can do a physical vision board. Spend about 45 minutes doing that. And then we're going to transition into our steam setups. You can get up, stretch, get a snack, take a little walk around the living room, or we can just sit and chat. Honestly, a lot of my sessions get very like, we really bond with each other, which I love about my clients, my ladies. Like I'm so grateful for my Yes God family, like straight up, for real. And then we're just going to sit for another, 35 to 45 minutes and either steam or meditate and do some deep breathing and really give our awareness and our attention to the things that we just defined that we want to manifest for ourselves. So, and if you miss this today, that's fine. I'm going to be doing these every month. So on the new moon and the full moon, we're going to be doing these manifestation activities. The new moons, we're going to be focusing on visual dream boards and mood boards. And then for the full moon sessions, we're going to be focusing on guided journaling, which is another favorite tool of mine. I do it like almost every day. And yes, God. So you can definitely check those out. The link is in my bio. Yep, it's this evening. It's this evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time till 9:30. So yes, God, to that. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. So I love y'all so much. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me this morning. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for being willing and having to have the courage to heal yourself, because it takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to admit. Yes, God, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm so glad to see everybody. I'm so grateful. Let me tell y'all a quick story about how divine orders is now established in my mind, body, and affairs. My eldest daughter is nannying for me, and it couldn't be a more perfect situation. Like, yes, God, my baby's still in my house with me. I still get to like breastfeed her, and we don't have to go and take her somewhere else. Or thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Like at this in this time, and it's crazy because we actually went to go look at a place like that's like down the road. This lady had an in-home daycare, and first of all, well, I'm not gonna say that because I don't know who would ever see this video. So I'm gonna have divine order be established in my mind, body, and affairs, and be positive. But long story short, I prefer her to be at home. And I'm grateful that that worked out. And I'm grateful that I'm able to employ my daughter. And I'm grateful that, you know, even though she doesn't live in the home with me anymore, she still is getting all this vibration of all this love and all this manifesting and all this positive, high vibing awareness. Yes, God. So anyways, I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Don't forget to download the Yes God Wellness app. We have some awesome affirmations that go out every day. And the intention of those is to kind of repeat them to yourself all day, that day. Yes, God. All right. Talk to you soon.